Hello and welcome back to another episode of A Slice of Fried Gold. My name's Paddy.
And I'm Ben.
If you are joining us for the first time, subscribe to the channel. If you're not joining us for the first time, thank you so much.
Welcome back!
You came back!
I like what you've done with your hair.
You what? You look fabulous.
Alright, Five Guys.
Five Guys? You literally saw it.
I meant to say, alright, Queer Eye.
Yeah, I know.
But because we went right past the Five Guys.
That's hilarious.
Queer Eye, Five Guys, both two syllables and both end in, the same.
And both recently in our minds because of obviously the new post that we saw earlier.
Yes.
So we'll just put it down to that.
Yeah.
Anyway, like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. And if you are listening to us on Spotify, please do give us a 5-star review. Share these channels to your friends, your family, to your dog, to whoever. Thank you very much. Ben, how the devil are you?
Yeah, I don't know if people can hear it in my voice slightly, but I've not been well this week.
It's Ben's turn to be unsettled.
My turn to be sick. So I apologise now if I cough all the way through this podcast. We'll try and be professional, but
we're not.
If I cough, I can't help it. Anyway, I was death warmed up on Monday.
Oh, really?
And I was like, you know what? Just pull right out in front of me, mate. It's not like I had right of way. BMW drivers, what'd you expect? Anyway. I was like, right, I'm going to drag myself to work because I got shit to do and everything. And I was like, at least I'll gain some sympathy for points. Nope. At the end of the day, I'm ill.
Yeah.
Like, I walked through the door. I didn't even open my mouth and people were like, damn.
You look sick.
You look sick. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, here comes the sympathy. And then Brazilian.
Yeah.
There's a lady in my office. We go by nicknames when we talk about colleagues.
We don't use names if you're new here.
Brazilian walks in 10 times sicker than me. Oh. I was like, you bitch.
Savage.
Stealing my thunder.
Savage.
Here I am dragging my ass to work to get sympathy for being sick. And you just... take it from me.
Stole his thunder.
How dare you? Because it was like, now I can't even complain, like, yeah, I'm really sick, because I was even like, I'll go in, and if I'm feeling really bad, I might, like, work from home from lunchtime. But then when she rocks up, I was like, well, I can't do that now.
Because I'll just look like a pussy.
Exactly. I've got to wait for her to then basically throw in the towel so that I can throw in the towel.
Exactly.
And she didn't, so I couldn't. She threw in the towel today, but of course I feel better today, so it was like, brilliant.
Thank you.
Where were you? Where was that 3 days ago?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that was fun, but I persevered, and as I said, I'm coming out the end of it now.
Yeah.
So you know how stupid I am when I find little things that absolutely just entertain me.
Yes.
I came across one the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I was coming out of Tesco's.
Yeah.
And the car in front of me, the license plate ended in UMM. And I chuckled, I was like, lol.
Yeah.
I then lost my shit when whoever was driving the car missed their turning on the roundabout and had to go back round. And I was like, oh my God, prophecy becomes reality. And I was just like imagining them going around the roundabout going,
That's hilarious.
And I was like, did you like, is that actually a personalised license plate and you're warning everyone? And then I was so entertained by that and so tickled by that, I forgot I needed to go get petrol. I nearly ran out of petrol on the A14. And I was like, okay, I'm not the smartest person in the world anymore,
Yeah.
That was kind of, right.
That was your
moment. That was my moment, but I was just too entertained by it.
That is funny.
And finally,
yes,
someone called me out the other day, and like, I like to pride myself on the thought of I can do witty comebacks quite quickly.
Yes.
If someone's having banter with me and they throw something my way, I'm proud and egotistical enough to think that I can respond quite quickly.
Yeah.
But every so often there's just something so out of the blue.
Yes.
And generally it's when they are actually being mean and not just being bantery. I kind of just freeze. I'm like, did that really just fucking happen?
Yeah.
So I was chatting to this guy on Grindr. And we're chatting away, and it's all fine and everything. And he sends me a cheeky little voice note. And in the voice note, he's talking about like what he likes to do in bed and everything. And
okay.
so I send him back a cheeky little voice note, telling him what I like to do in bed and everything.
Standard procedure.
And that's when he then messages going, "You're the kind of guy that should stay quiet during sex." And I just like,
God.
I was like, what?
Wow.
And it was like, there was no emoji or anything. There was nothing. It was literally
it was just like pure, your voice is not meant for sex.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you explain you were ill?
No, this was pre me being ill.
Oh, wow.
This was when I was in London, when I was at full health.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I was just kind of what? And then he blocked, before I even had time to react and everything, he blocked me.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh no. Now I'm going to be really conscious about how I speak for like the next 6 months.
That's savage.
I know.
Jesus.
I know.
The audacity. I would find this bitch. I'd be like,
it's London. He's probably disappeared by now. But it was just,
wow.
as I said, I pride myself in thinking I'm quite good and quick at coming back and everything. But
that stumbled you.
You
were like,
me.
Whoa.
I was just like, wow, okay. It was a bit like that time when the guy sent me a selfie, so I sent him a selfie back, and he was like, oh, wow, you could travel to New York with those bags under your eyes.
Oh, wow, yeah, that one made me.
Yeah, I mean, and at the same time, I was kind of like, what?
I mean, amazing insult, but also fuck you.
Yeah. And as I said to you before, I don't know if I've shared this on the podcast before, that guy didn't have a forehead, he had a 5-head, and, you know, the fact that he called me out for my bags when I could use his forehead as a runway, it was kind of a, wow, you're going there. But in that moment, I was kind of like, what do I do? What do I say? This what? Because I just didn't see it coming.
But I've never experienced, I mean, I'm no bloody Leonardo DiCaprio, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But even in the heterosexual world, on online dating, people don't really do that unless it's like a joke. You gays are savage.
Yeah, of course we are.
I mean, I know you're like savage, but like, Jesus.
I've seen it occasionally in the straight world, generally on like meme forums and everything. But then, and of course, the girl will be like, "Oh, what's your height?" And then he replies back, going, "What's your weight?"
Classic.
You know.
Yeah.
But then it never goes further than that.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I feel like for like 1 in every 20 straight conversations, it's like that. For like the homosexuals, it's like 1 every 5.
Oh, 100%.
It's ridiculous.
It's mental. But yeah, so that's been my week. I've been ill, conscious about my voice, which, of course, with me being ill, has been extra deep and sexy.
Very wide.
Yes. And yeah, entertained by the small things. How are you, Paddy?
Well, as you have been ill,
yes.
I have gotten better.
Of course.
But I have only felt better literally in the last 2 days.
Right.
I have persevered throughout the weekend.
Well done. Sympathy for you. Here you go. Feel the sympathy.
Thank you. I love the sympathy.
Give it to me.
Give it to me. Give me all the sympathy.
Parents watch this.
Oh, they know.
Carry on. Yeah.
Water?
No, I'm fine. Okay.
But yeah, I want to talk to you about a random act of kindness that I witnessed at work.
Oh, so you didn't do it, you just witnessed it?
No, me, random act of kindness, no. Witness, yes.
Okay.
Busy Monday evening, kind of running around. We had, standard, we only had, 10 people booked.
Yeah.
And then about half an hour before service, we gained, an extra 35 people.
Right, yeah.
So we were running around. And then the last table comes in, and I'm thinking, right, thank God, it's the last table coming in. And then they're just like, oh, we've got a table booked under this name, there's 3 of us. I don't know if you can help, but there's a lady outside. And I saw this lady sitting outside, and I thought she was just waiting for the bus.
Right.
As you well know, we have, tables and chairs outside, and a lot of people sit out and sit on them while they're waiting for the bus, so I didn't think much of it. And they were like, we think she's kind of lost or something, we don't really know what's going on.
Right.
Is there anybody that might be able to help? And I was like, well, I can have a word with her, but I don't really know what you want me to say. I'm kind of running around, I've got a restaurant full, and it was just me and one other person.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, just before you carry on.
Yeah.
When you've I could go out and have a word with her. My mind went straight to you with a super soaker going, yoink, yeah.
Little spray bottle.
Yes.
Bat, get away.
Get out, get away. Carry on.
So we established that this lady didn't speak much English.
Right, yeah.
We assume that she was lost or took the wrong bus or took the wrong train or something like that.
Right.
She was trying to get to Harwich.
Right.
But this was Monday and it was train strikes, so there was no trains.
Fun.
So we assumed she'd been taking buses left, right and centre. I was just like, oh, have you got like a phone? You know, did the classic old school millennial that thing, not this thing.
Yeah.
That thing, the classic telephone sign. And she was like, I've lost it. And I was like, well, shit. And she didn't have a handbag with her, so I don't know if she's like left it on the bus, she's been mugged. She started getting quite upset.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And these people that were there who were like dining with us, like, you know, who were guests, were then just like, look, are you hungry? Are you tired? And they were just like, eat with us, and then we will drive you to Harwich because we have to go that way. It's a bit out of our way, but we will take you. And she didn't really understand, so they kind of beckoned her in, and they kind of just said, sit with us. And they sat down, and I gave her a menu and everything. And I mean, in my 14 years of hospitality, I've never seen anybody do that.
Yeah.
And I know we've not lately, but we've been negative. But we've seen. But I think there's so much negativity in the world that I feel like we should praise like a random good act of kindness. So to these people, hats off to them, because they could have easily just gone. And to be fair to them, they sat down, and about 2 minutes later, the bus came past. But they could have easily just gone, like, here's a £5, stand here and wait for the bus.
Yeah.
But they didn't, you know, fed her, watered her, you know, and then went out of their way to drive her back to Harwich, which was also out of their way to a degree. I would assume they had to go, like, the long way home. You know, kind of thing. But not many people would do that these days. So I just felt like I wanted to bring a little bit of lightheartedness and a nice positive story to the podcast, as opposed to us always moaning about work or mainly me moaning about work. But like, hats off to those people. I thought it was. I've never seen it before. I was baffled, but you know, and they tried to communicate and they tried to have a small talk conversation in like broken English, and it was quite heartwarming to see. It was very nice. So. That was about the highlight of my week. I haven't really got any downs apart from the fact that I was still ill. But
congratulations, good people. You'll be on Santa's good list.
You have earned your way to heaven.
Wow. That's
Jesus likes us
Santa's nice list. Heaven. They are.
Well, you know what I mean.
You know, Santa judges yearly.
He goes by every 6 months.
It is. You know, we all do our end of year appraisal at work in April. No, Christmas is your end of year appraisal.
If you get that lump of coal, you know you've been bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely a Satsuma in their socket this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I'd just bring that up as a
very
nice as a highlight of the week. And I thought
my cold, dead little heart feels slightly warmer.
Yeah. My heart grew 1 extra size.
My heart beat 1 extra time.
Yeah, I nearly thought I was going to have a heart attack.
Yes.
But anyway, a nice little positive note. But should we talk film?
Okay.
Unless you have any other news.
Nope.
Cool. Let's talk film.
Okay.
So we've been seeing Monkey Man.
We have.
Starring Dev Patel, written by Dev Patel, directed by Dev Patel.
Write the theme tune, sing the theme tune.
This is obviously his directorial debut. Debut?
Yeah.
Would you like to go first? Or should I
you go first.
Okay. This was marketed to me as Bollywood John Wick. This was not Bollywood John Wick.
Was it not?
No. I enjoyed this film. However, there were massive faults with it. Pacing was an issue.
Oh, yes.
But for me, the biggest thing, and especially as not as a first-time director, but as a cinematographer, shaky cam is such a hard thing to do correctly.
Yeah.
so many of the fight sequences were lost because of shaky cam and poor direction from it.
Yeah.
So much choreography was lost. I mean, it's your standard revenge story trope.
Mm-hmm.
Did it break any ground? No. I think for me, the biggest issue of it was the shaky cam situation.
Fair.
I think Dev Patel is a great actor. You know, he's come a long way since like Skins and things like that. You know, Slumdog Millionaire. I really liked him in The Green Knight. I think he's done some really good films. But I think for his first debut into like the action genre, potentially maybe being a director for it as well may not have been a good idea. And maybe having somebody more seasoned as an action director would have been a better option.
Yep.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I actually quite like Bollywood films. I've watched Bollywood films before.
You have not told me this before.
I've seen Bollywood movies.
Okay.
I enjoy them. You know, some of them are completely over the top.
Yep.
Some of them are actually all right. Some of them are a bit of a laugh. Things like that. You know, there's always a musical number.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Even the dead people come back up and then they join in.
And then it like freeze frame and it comes up with their name on it. So that's cool. For me, the biggest issue was I'm here to watch an action film, and half of that action was lost because the camera was pointing in the wrong direction when the fight scene was happening. How can you have an action movie and not show the action? Either your choreography is that bad, which I don't think it is. I think it was just really poor direction, and also the cinematographer should have tried to do more to help push it in the right direction.
Yeah.
You look at the... I can't remember his name now, but the cinematographer...
Steve.
Yeah, let's call him Steve. The cinematographer for the Batman, the Robert Pattinson one, was the same one for the two Dune movies.
Right.
And you can see essences of like his thing, like of the, you know, the slow walk across the horizon and things like that. And you can see that like that's his like trademark and his like move for that.
Yeah.
But I feel like whoever the cinematographer was for this, what is going on? Oh my day! The cinematographer for this should have maybe tried to put a little bit more of the influence across and go, oh well, maybe we should kind of do it like this. Or it could have been that the cinematographer didn't have much experience either, and they were just going ham at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of my sum up thoughts on it.
Okay.
Ben?
Well, I didn't like the film.
Yeah, I knew you did.
I'm trying to work out if I hated the film. No, it's one of those films where I have no emotion towards it.
Yeah, it's a nothing film.
Well, it's not that it's a nothing film, but it's just I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It's meh. As I said to you, the moment how it ended, I was like, right, well, you can tell that they've gone, oh, if this makes money, we'll make a sequel.
Yeah.
It's not going to make money.
Or, if it doesn't, then it's down to the interpretation of the audience.
If I've had to watch it,
Yeah.
I'm glad I've watched it in the cinema, because if I had watched this at home, I would have been on my phone.
Oh, yeah. I would not have committed to this at home.
No.
At all, whatsoever.
No, I would have not been able to focus. And then, of course, when they're not speaking English and the subtitles, I would have been like, what have I missed?
Yeah.
You know, so it's...
That's the problem with me watching Shogun at the moment.
Yeah.
Every time my phone pings, I look up and then I go back and I've missed half a scene.
I mean, to be fair, that's why I haven't started watching Shogun yet, because I want to dedicate, I need to watch this.
You have to dedicate to it.
I know that it's all in Japanese kind of thing, and I was like, I can't be staring at my phone.
Yeah.
And everything, so yeah. But Monkey Man, so yeah.
Yeah, Monkey Man.
Didn't love it, didn't hate it, it's a film. You can tell they've left it open for either a sequel or it's open to the interpretation kind of thing.
Yeah.
I see what you mean, where you can tell it's his first debut. Like, there's a moment in the film where a load of enemies come out of the lift.
Yeah.
And they come out the lift, they come out the fire exit, blah, 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 and the camera kind of clocks through them.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but in that moment, I got very much Kill Bill vibes.
Yeah.
But it was Kill Bill done poorly.
Yeah.
If you get me.
Yeah, it was. And like you said with about the Kill Bill thing, you can see influences in his work from other directors that he wants to pull from, and a lot of people do.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having influences and
nods
inspirations.
And homages to movies that you love within your movie. The issue is you have to do it well.
Yes.
And it was not done well.
No.
Did you see the push cuts in the fight scenes?
No.
So there was a couple of, especially towards in that like fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple of bits where you could tell that it was two different takes.
Right.
And it didn't meet up. So it did like this kind of like little push thing.
Right.
And they kind of like moved half an inch across.
Yeah.
Like somehow slid.
All right.
And that was because they haven't marked it up properly. So that's what I'm saying. Like little things like that. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, it completely threw me out of the thing.
Yeah.
It threw me out of context of the fight scene.
The problem is when you have a passion project in it, and because it's Dev Patel's first thing, sometimes you will look at it and you'll look at it through rose-tinted glasses. You'll see an absolute masterpiece whilst everyone else will see the faults and see the cracks.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I feel like Dev Patel's been let down. What the fuck is going on with my cruise control tonight?
I don't know.
Can you not feel the car like...
Yeah, I assumed it was just you. I didn't realise you were on cruise.
I've whacked it on cruise control because speed cameras around here are notorious.
Yeah, I know.
So I was like, whack it on cruise control, I can forget about it, but it seems to not be able to decide on fucking speed. Anyway. So I feel like the team around Dev Patel, either he's been an absolute diva and he's like, no, this is my vision, it's perfect, leave it alone, or the team around him have all been a bunch of yes men.
Yeah.
And they've not sort of said, actually, we've noticed this, we've noticed this, we've noticed this.
Yeah.
So...
But that's the thing as well, is that like Jordan Peele, you know, Get Out and everything else, he's obviously produced this. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the time, producers are on sets.
Yes.
I can't understand how he... And, he at one point, Get Out was his directorial debut.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a phenomenal film. I really love that film.
Yeah.
But I can't understand how he would not say, you know what, Dev, mate, just come here. And gone, you've not lined this up right, or things like that, you know.
Yeah.
As a producer, you're also investing money into this thing.
Unless he hasn't been around and,
and just
because Dev's his buddy, and Dev's gone, here's the film, and he's gone, great work, well done, buddy.
Maybe. You don't know. I mean, we're not there. But in the immortal words of parents, I'm just disappointed. You know what I mean? I was expecting this 2-hour full-on action romp like you would with John Wick and everything else, which it was advertised. And that's another classic thing, yeah? Trailers misleading you on what it is going to be.
Yeah.
I have no issue with this story, but if it had been advertised to me the way it was actually perceived in the movie, I would have still gone to see it. Because I wanted to see it because it was Dev's directorial debut.
Yeah.
And it's his first proper action movie and things like that. So those bits interested me. It wasn't for the fact it was supposed to be a new John Wick, which it wasn't in the slightest.
No.
So...
as you said, it was your standard revenge story. Revenge stories have been done 101 times.
Yeah.
There's better revenge stories.
Yeah, and I mean that's the issue, isn't it? There is better revenge stories.
And you say you like Dev Patel's acting. Personally, I think he prescribed to the same acting school as Daniel Radcliffe, and that is the acting school of staring to convey emotion. I'm sad, I'll stare. I'm angry, I'll stare. I'm confused, I'll stare.
But I do also think that was because there's minimal script.
Oh yeah, that annoyed me as well.
There was
a lot of looking at each other and nodding.
But
and
I feel like that's a very Bollywood thing as
well.
But
also at the same time, that's all well and good looking at each other and nodding, but generally the audience needs to know what you're nodding about as well.
Yeah. I mean, we had a montage scene. Love a montage.
We love a montage. But yeah.
But no, I do feel as a debut, I do not feel like it was a strong debut.
Also, I feel like the swearing was very unneeded.
In what sense?
So there was moments when they're fighting and like he goes, "Oh, you fucking fuck," and it's like, okay, how about we get a thesaurus and we try that line again? You know, I just
but I feel
there's
like
better words.
I know, but I feel like one, that's like also very Bollywood, and two, have you
racist?
But that's just how they do it.
Okay.
You know, have you seen that Vine of the two
Oh,
Indian
yeah,
blokes
yeah,
where
yeah.
they go, "You fucking."
Yes.
And it's just like that's all they're saying. Like every single word is that. And I feel like that's just like.
But that's a stereotype, and I thought we were moving past stereotypes in Hollywood films.
Well, apparently not in this one.
Apparently not in this one. But yeah, because like that is Kingsman, as you well know, as I said on this podcast before, it's my favourite film of all times.
Yeah.
There is the moment in Kingsman when Colin Firth's character is fighting all the geezers in the pub, and he's beat all of them bar one.
Yeah.
And that guy pulls out a little pistol and he starts shooting at Colin Firth. Colin Firth opens his umbrella as a shield, and whilst he's shooting at this umbrella shield, he goes, "You fucking fuck," and it's like, okay, use another word.
Yeah.
You know, it annoys me when that happens.
And I get it. But I also think there's also half that issue is because Hollywood says you're only allowed to use so many words left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
And you can only have 3 fucks, 1 shit, and a bugger. You know what I mean? Not on YouTube, people.
No, because we're not monetized.
Exactly.
But like with the Kingsman one,
it
looks to like if you now that I've pointed it out, go back and rewatch that scene, and it looks like they've cut it and then split 2 takes together.
Yeah.
And so you get the "you fucking fuck" from one scene, and then fuck from another scene, and it's kind of
just split on.
It's mushed together. And so it was just like when it happened in this film, and it happened quite a few times. I was just like, okay, I'm not expecting Shakespeare.
No.
But a few other words
would have been nice.
Yeah,
no, I get it.
Considering, as you said, there's not very much dialogue in this script. It's very dialogue easy script, and so you choose to use the word "fuck" for majority of it. And I know I can't really be on my high horse because I use swearing as commas and full stops. But still,
I agree, and I think the thing as well is that, and that also goes back to the visuals. If you're trying to do a very visual film with minimal script, your visuals have to be on point.
Yes.
And it wasn't, and therefore it makes it worse.
If you're doing a very visual film with minimal script, your visuals need to be on point, and your words need to hit.
Yeah, and it didn't.
The visuals weren't on point, and the words didn't hit. There you go. That is the basis of this film.
Yeah.
Which is probably why, as I said, if I had watched this at home, I'd have been on my phone within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's only because after 5 minutes, they all start speaking English.
Anyway.
Final thoughts?
Don't
get distracted by a car that says, because...
Yes, because you end up having a moment.
You end up having a blonde moment.
Speaking of
do you want to do it one more time? Getting called out on things about your voice and getting called out about your voice. It's not fun.
Getting called out about your voice is not cool.
Just get ready. Have a comeback. Ready.
Yeah. Have you random acts of kindness? They're great.
They're good. More random acts of kindness.
We like.
Have you seen one? Tell us about it.
Comment down below. Please tell us about it. If you have seen it, or if you've committed to one.
And also, if you're going to be at sick at work, make sure that you're the only one who's sick at work, so then you get all the sympathy.
If there's multiple people at work sick, be the sickest one.
Be the sickest one, because then you get the sympathy.
Exactly that. But with that all being said, thank you very much. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, share this channel with your friends. If you listen to us on Spotify, please do give us a 5-star review as well, and share that as well. But with that all being said, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Cheers. Bye-bye.